Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Andre, and here I talk about drawing, painting and creativity. This is the full video where I talk about the technique of painting first and drawing later. Through the video I'll explain a bit about the process and how I made this painting. The reference is available for download and I invite you to join me in this painting. So let's start. In the first place, as we don't have an initial sketch to guide us, I try to imagine the image divided into parts to make the process simpler, as I'm showing now in this example. With that in mind, let's try to reproduce it on paper. I'll start with the wall. Honestly, it would have been easier to start with the door, but I don't know why I began with the wall. For the wall I use orange, for that I mix the red and add a bit of yellow. As you can see, sometimes I need to try to figure out where to place the next brush stroke. To be honest, I'm a bit slower when I paint or draw, but that gives you time to follow me or watch all the process. Since I don't talk all the time, during these silence parts I let play music to inspire you and avoid awkward silences. As you can see, the idea for this first layer is to apply the main colors freely. I have added the base color for the walls, and now I'll start adding green for the bushes. I'll paint where the steps will be and then the door. try to highlight some parts of the painting, like these bushes. After we apply the first layer, it's time to let the paint dry. When the painting dries, I'll start working on the drawing. Here the idea is to let the painting guide our drawing. For that I'm using a Black Sakura pen 01, but of course you can use other pens. The important thing here is the pen should be waterproof to avoid damage our drawing when we start painting again. Now I'll speed up the video a bit during this drawing part. After finishing the drawing, I'll start adding more layers to the painting. This is how we give more expression to our work. I'll start with the bushes. If you usually don't paint trees or bushes, the idea is to add darker layers in some areas. This way we create shadows and volume. The idea is to add darker green while the painting is still wet. This way, the color will spread and look more natural. This is a technique called wet on wet. It works better in papers and 100% cotton. But you can still use this technique in another paper and you can get a nice effect as well. If you don't have darker greens in your palette, you can always mix dark blue or red with green. Make small adjustments as I need to observe the image and my painting to understand what to do or what should I improve. so I might take a bit longer and small detail. For the stones around the door, I try to mix a color close to grey. You can make grey by mixing the primary colors, red, blue and yellow, or use one from your palette. I suggest always adding a bit of blue or red to the grey, to this way make it cooler or warmer. For the door, I add the darker tone close to grey. This way I'll reduce saturation and give it an older look. Now I'll start working on the walls again. For this, I'll add darker layer of orange. Sometimes you'll see me using a tissue on a painting. This helps to remove excess of paint, but also add some texture. Now it's time to go back to the door. I'll use a navy blue tone. I used a light blue and mixed it with a bit of green. Here I use a mix technique. Mix technique is add the paint to the paper, then clean the brush a bit and spread the paint on the paper to create a gradient. Shadows, I'll add a darker tone. Here I want to use a mixed technique. I'll just apply the darker color and let it dry. tree branches using the dark brown. I try to apply more paint and less water to make it darker. Since it doesn't have much detail, I start with a darker tone right now. I forgot to draw this bush near the stairs, so I'll do that now. Back into the door, I'll add some details with a dirty tone. For this tone, I mix the dark blue-gray with brown. I only use black for drawing with the pen. In painting, I don't like use black. Black doesn't exist in watercolor. It comes in palettes, but it's not a natural color. To get darker colors, I mix primary colors, as I said before, or use a darker gray from the palette. With the door, I'll make darker gray with blue, but this time without brown, for the stairs. For the door I used brown because the door is made of wood, and wood is brown of course. For the stairs I'll use the wet on wet technique again, and a tissue to add more texture to the painting. the top part of the stairs and the stones around the door, I'll use the grey tone with yellow. The way as I want it. So for that I'm adding more green tones in the shadow areas. To finish this painting. I'll work a bit more on the oranges of the wall. I try to use darker orange and add some brush strokes through the painting to give it more texture.
Now close your eyes and sleep. Sleep. Today that's all.
I hope you enjoyed this video and the full process. Feel free to share your opinion with me, that's helped me a lot. And see you on the next video.